While there is only one global ocean, the vast body of water that covers 71% of the Earth is geographically divided into distinct named regions. The boundaries between these regions have evolved for a variety of historical, cultural, geographical, and scientific reasons. Historically, there are four named oceans: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, and Arctic. However, most countries, including the United States, now recognize the Southern as the fifth ocean. Geographers debated whether the waters around Antarctica had enough unique characteristics to deserve their name, or whether they were simply cold, southern extensions of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. The change aligns with the initiative to conserve the world's oceans, focusing public awareness onto a region in particular need of a conservation spotlight. While the other oceans are defined by the continents that fence them in, the Southern Ocean is defined by a current. Scientists estimate that the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, or ACC, was established roughly 34 million years ago, when Antarctica separated from South America. That allowed for the unimpeded flow of water around the bottom of the Earth. The ACC flows from west to east around Antarctica, in a broad fluctuating band roughly centered around a latitude of 60 degrees south, the line that is now defined as the northern boundary of the Southern Ocean. Inside the ACC, the waters are colder and slightly less salty than ocean waters to the north. Extending from the surface to the ocean floor, the ACC transports more water than any other ocean current. It pulls in water from the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, helping drive a global circulation system known as the conveyor belt, which transports heat around the planet. Cold, dense water that sinks to the ocean floor off Antarctica also helps store carbon in the deep ocean. In both those ways, the Southern Ocean has a crucial impact on Earth's climate. The maximum depth of the Southern Ocean was found using a multi-beam sonar that identified the deepest point with a depth of 7,434 meters. Exploration of the Southern Ocean was inspired by a belief in the existence of Terra Australis, a vast continent in the far south of the globe to balance the northern lands of Eurasia and North Africa, which had existed since the time of Ptolemy. European geographers continued to connect the coast of Tierra del Fuego with the coast of New Guinea on their globes and allowing their imaginations to run riot in the vast unknown spaces of the South Atlantic, South Indian, and Pacific Oceans. They sketched the outlines of the Terra Australis Incognita, or the unknown southern land, a vast continent stretching in parts into the tropics. The search for this great South land was a leading motive of explorers in the 16th and the early part of the 17th centuries. The first land south of the parallel 60 degrees south latitude was discovered by the Englishman William Smith, who sighted Livingston Island on February 19, 1819. A few months later, Smith returned to explore the other islands of the South Shetlands archipelago, landed on King George Island, and claimed the new territories for Britain. In 1946, U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd and more than 4,700 military personnel visited the Antarctic in an expedition called Operation High Jump. Reported to the public as a scientific mission, the details were kept secret, and it may have actually been a training or testing mission for the military. The expedition was, in both military or scientific planning terms, put together very quickly. The group contained an unusually high amount of military equipment, including an aircraft carrier, submarines, military support ships, assault troops, and military vehicles. The expedition was planned to last for 8 months, but was unexpectedly terminated after only 2 months. Except for some eccentric entries in Admiral Byrd's diaries, no real explanation for the early termination has ever been officially given. In 2000, the boundaries of the ocean were proposed, but all countries did not agree to it, thus making it difficult to be recognized by the International Hydrographic Organization. For now, by fencing in frigid southern waters, the ACC helps keep Antarctica cold and the Southern Ocean ecologically distinct. Thousands of species live there and nowhere else. The Southern Ocean encompasses unique and fragile marine ecosystems that are home to wonderful marine life such as whales, penguins, and seals. What's more, the Southern Ocean has ecological effects elsewhere as well. Humpback whales, for example, feed on krill off Antarctica and migrate far north to winter in very different ecosystems off South and Central America. Scientists are currently voicing concern about how climate change is altering the Southern Ocean. In February, another iceberg larger than New York City broke off. Sea temperatures vary from about -2 to 10 degrees Celsius. Cyclonic storms travel eastward around the continent and frequently become intense because of the temperature contrast between ice and the open ocean. The ocean area from about latitude 40 south to the Antarctic Circle has the strongest average winds found anywhere on Earth. In winter, the ocean freezes outward to 65 degrees south latitude in the Pacific sector and 55 degrees south latitude in the Atlantic sector, lowering surface temperatures well below 0 degrees Celsius. Currently, researchers are studying how anthropogenic climate change is affecting Earth's newest ocean. Scientists know that Antarctica's waters are warming and the continent's ice sheets are melting rapidly. However, it is unknown how much of these effects impact the southern continent. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to find out more interesting topics. And as always, thanks for watching.